Everyone and their mother say that selling digital products is the fastest way to make money online in 2026, and they are kind of right. You can create something once and sell it forever with almost 100% profit margin and zero inventory cost. But there is a problem. The harsh truth is that 99% of beginners never make a single sale. And why is that? Because they don't know which products are profitable. Most people start creating whatever they feel like and expect it to take off. And this strategy doesn't work. In this video, I'll show you the exact method I use to find profitable digital product ideas without relying on luck. And I'm also going to talk about the steps that you need to take in order to start selling those products. If you're new here, my name is Christian. I help people on their e-com journey. If you want to learn how to make money online, hit that subscribe button and let's get started. You want to go and create something that is proven to work. And one method that I use always is to research digital products on Etsy, because Etsy has a large catalog of digital products that have some public information on them. So you can actually go and see how much money some stores on Etsy make on certain products. And to access this information, you have a couple of plugins out there, one of which is the Everbee plugin. This was created for Etsy sellers in order for them to research other stores on Etsy. But we as aspiring digital product creators, we can go and we can use Everbee to our advantage as well. Go to Everbee and download their Chrome extension and create an account with them. Then you're going to go to Etsy and you're going to have this sidebar on Etsy, and this will allow you to actually browse and see information from other sellers and other stores. You actually have two ways of researching with Everbee. One is product analytics. This way you research other products if you have a product type in mind. For example, if you plan to sell financial planners, you can go here to product analytics, and then inside this window here, you're going to go to Everbee's database. You're going to have here all the products that are on Etsy, and you're going to have this search bar over here. You can type in there financial planner, and you're going to get all the best sellers at the top now. And you also have this really handy graph here that shows the trend. So if the product is growing or it is stagnating or it goes down. So for example, this product over here seems to be very popular at the moment. You can of course go and research and see which of the products seem to do well and which ones you can actually go ahead and try and mimic. So I would start like this if I already knew that I want to create financial planners or work in the financial niche. But if you don't know what niche to choose, or you don't have a niche in mind already, you can go the other route, which is researching stores. So you're going to go to Shop Analyzer here. And in Store Analyzer, you're going to actually have all the Etsy stores listed here. Obviously, not all Etsy stores sell digital products. And if you want to filter for stores that actually sell digital products, you'll have to do the following thing. So you're going to go here to filter, and you are going to scroll down. They have this scroll bar over here. You're going to scroll down till the end of this box. And at the end, you're going to find this other scroll bar here. You're going to drag that to the end as well. And you're going to have this field over here, digital listings. You're going to want to add in there minimum 3 or minimum 5 digital items, because some people have physical products as well. Maybe they have print on demand, and they also sell some digital products. You want to see the stores that actually sell digital products. So I'm adding in here minimum 5 digital products, but you can go with more, because who's serious about selling digital products will have much more listings on their store. So let's say we add in there 5, you can add more if you want, and then we can filter for that. Then you can go at the top and you can click this arrow so that you get all the stores that have more digital products at the top, and we see this one over here. You can go ahead and see what this store is actually selling. You're going to see how much money they made, the monthly revenue. You're going to see the listings over here. You can then sort their listings and see which ones are more popular. You can see the graphs over here. So this way you can actually discover sellers, and you can try and copy their strategies or maybe their niche if you don't already have a niche in mind. Now that you know how to find sellers, you know how to find products to mimic or get inspired from. You have to check out their pricing. You'll have to check out the volume and the competition for those products. So you might want to research more sellers in those areas. And in order to decide if you want to actually work in a certain niche and create digital products for that niche, is to actually spend a bit of time and see if you can deal with working in that niche every day, because this is what you'll have to do. You'll have to create digital products for that niche. So if you find something shiny and you think you're going to make a quick buck with it, you probably won't, because this will take time. And if you cannot spend like 2-3 months inside this niche, reading about it, posting about it, and so on, you're probably going to lose, because there are a lot of other people that spend a lot of time in it, maybe tens of years in that subject, and they will enjoy it more. They will do it with pleasure. That will be reflected in your posts and so on. So make sure that is a subject that you are close to, and you don't have to be the biggest expert. You just have to be able to enjoy it, and you have to be able to spend time in it, researching it, creating content for it. So if you find something that is close to you and you can spend time working a couple of months without getting paid, maybe start to think about the people's needs in that niche and start to think about the catalog of products that you can create in order to serve those needs. Because in the beginning, you won't know what products will actually sell. You'll see information from Everbee that will say something, will say that there is a lot of demand for a certain product. But when you create it and you post it on your store, it might not work as it works on their stores, on your competition stores, because they already have traction. They already have traffic. Etsy is already trusting their store more. And for you, it might not work as it works for them. The products that might work for your competition might not work for you. And that's why you'll have to think about a catalog of products that maybe your competition doesn't have. Don't try to just recreate their best sellers. Try to think about other products they might have missed. You can actually recreate their best sellers too, but just do slight changes, modifications, and think about the needs of some subcategories of people in that niche. Try to adjust those best sellers to appeal subgroups of that niche if possible. You'll have to think about 5 to 10 items like that. A store with 5 to 10 items also looks more trustworthy. And it looks like the person who's behind that store is an expert, or it has a wider range of information or things to offer in that field. So that's why if you have less than 5, for example, you should also add some bundles. You should combine some of those products together so that it looks like you have more. This is also good for average order value, because if someone is interested in a certain product, then you can offer them something similar together that they might be interested and they might see value in that. Don't get me wrong, you don't need to start with 5 to 10. You can start with 1 and then drive traffic to that and then work to the second item and so on until you have 5 to 10. But 5 to 10 looks more trustworthy. So, okay, let's say you have your first product idea, maybe 2-3 ideas. How do you package those ideas into looking valuable? Because if you don't have the right packaging, if you don't make your products look like something, people won't perceive value in them. So in order to have those items look like something valuable, you're going to have to create mockups, and you're going to have to find a way to deliver them like a PDF. For example, if you're selling a digital planner, you may want to format that as a PDF that people can actually download. And you'll have to create a mockup of how that product actually looks like. And I'm going to go to Etsy to show you what I mean. Let's say you're selling this planner. A mockup would be an image like this, showcasing the item in action. As you can see, you have the planner over here with all the information and then the data showing up like that. Professional sellers on Etsy will have multiple mockups. They will showcase their item in multiple scenarios. You can do the same thing by using something like Canva. Canva has a lot of mockups in there. So you can add your digital item on a computer, on a device, in a frame, and so on. Another place you can do that is named Placeit. Placeit has a lot of mockups that you can start using today. So after you design it, go ahead and place it on different mediums depending on what you're selling. Try to create mockups that look real, mockups that showcase your item and its benefits, and this way your customers will be able to see the value behind it. So let's say you have one item, you have your PDF product that people will be able to download and use, and you have its mockup. What you have to do next is actually create a store, And you have two ways of doing this. First one is to create an Etsy store. And an Etsy store is good because in theory, you're going to get free traffic, but Etsy also has an algorithm that will serve bigger stores more. So if you start now on Etsy store, you might not have a lot of traction in the beginning, but let's say this can be one of your strategies. So you're going to open up an Etsy store where you're going to list your items. The problem with Etsy is also that if you're driving traffic yourself, because you may want to do that, you may want to create social media accounts and post about your subject in order to get people to click on your products and hopefully buy. If you send your traffic from your social to your Etsy store, the Etsy store product page looks something like this. And let's say one of your prospects lands on this product page. If they scroll down, they might just go to one of these listings, which are coming from your competition with similar items. So you drove traffic for their sale in this case. You don't want to do that if you're driving traffic from your socials. It's already hard to create social media traffic because there is a lot of noise out there. And if you drive one potential customer to your store, you don't want that customer to land on your competition store. And that's why you should have also a standalone store, not only an Etsy store. And you can actually do that with Everbee as well. So if you have the Chrome extension installed, you're going to have this button over there and you can go to their store right here. And this is a store that you can actually create in minutes because this is created with AI. You can obviously go and create a Shopify store if you're more advanced. This one is just simpler to use and you can regenerate the store in seconds if you want to try different ideas or different niches. Anyways, the safer way is to have an Etsy store, but is also to have a solo store where you can also host your products. And if you're sending traffic from TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, it would be beneficial to you to send that traffic to a different store and not your Etsy store. Another advantage you have when having a solo store is that you own the customer relationship. That means that whenever someone buys from Etsy, they buy from Etsy and the list of emails is not actually yours. Whenever someone buys from you, the emails are yours. They are your customers. You can then go ahead and add them to an email flow, advertise different things to them that they might be interested in and so on. With Etsy, they are actually not your customers. So you see why having a solo store is a very important part of this. Okay, let's say you have an Etsy store and you have a solo store. Now you have to create the traffic because if you just based on what Etsy is going to send you, this will take a lot of time. So what you have to do is create social media accounts and create posts and content in that niche, posts that will hopefully drive traffic to your product. And in order to know what kind of content to create, you would have to research a little bit about your audience and try to figure out where they actually hang out. If your audience is on Instagram, focus on Instagram. If your audience is on TikTok, focus on TikTok. And try to use AI to your advantage. A couple of years ago, this was not an option and people and marketers had to work a lot to create content, but now just use AI. Use AI to create images, videos, texts, and so on. And if you don't know which platform to use, there is actually a platform that will allow you to test and see which AI model or AI platform fits more to you. The name of the platform is LM Arena, and this is for free. You don't have to pay anything to this platform. So it's lmarena.ai. And they will allow you to just test different models. Like, for example, you can start with Battle if you don't know what model you want to test. So you're going to start with Battle. And let's say you want to create an image. You're going to click on this image icon there and you're going to add your prompt. Let's say this is your prompt and here's the result. So you're going to look at the image and see what you've asked and what it gave you. Then you're going to choose which one is better for you. If let's say this one is better, I'm going to click on right is better. And at the top here is going to tell you which model was used. Then you're going to run a couple of more tests. And if this model will give you the best results, then you can start working more with this model. If you now know that this model gave you good results, you can go to the next level here, which is side by side. Then here you can go again to image and select that model. I think this one over here, and then compare it with something else in here. And so you will see which model will work better for you. Then at the end, you have also direct chat. You can select your favorite model in here and work with it a while. And if it convinces you, you can go ahead and buy a subscription on that platform and you can start working with it. But as a side note, you can actually use LM Arena to create some things for you without having to pay for the main platform. This is limited. It will stop at one point, but you can work with it up until then. So after you have your stores and you have your social media accounts, next you will have to have patience. This will take a little bit of time and you'll have to be consistent. You'll have to post new products when you can. You will have to post content on your social media accounts in order to create that traffic and drive those people to your digital product. Your store on Etsy will probably not be picked up by the algorithm too fast, depending on the keywords you're using, the SEO you're doing on your products. You might get some traffic, you might get some sales, but it will take a little bit of time. The same thing with your social media accounts. Because you just open them up, they will not have traction right from the beginning. You will have to be patient and you will have to post constantly. If you focus on Instagram, for example, you can go and research what is the best frequency for posting on Instagram in order to get better results. Each of the social media accounts will have some requirements. You can go and research those, but focus on your main channel and focus your energy there. And don't expect immediate results. This is a marathon. This is not a sprint. You will have to do this for a while until you'll see some results. And being consistent also comes hand in hand with setting your expectations. If you think this will be a get-rich-quick scheme, it's not. So this will take work. This will take energy. You'll have to like the niche you choose in order to stay in it because you're going to work in it for a while. By creating content about that niche all the time and creating products, you're going to learn and you're going to get better. You'll have to celebrate small wins. Those might not be sales. Maybe there are favorites. Maybe they are items added to cart and so on. But you'll have to think that someone out there took your digital item that you've created and hearted or favorited. There is a lot of noise out there. And when someone does that, that means that your work is not in vain. And this is not all. You're not going to get only favorites. You're going to get sales. And that's not all. You're not going to get only favorites. You're going to get sales. But you might have to wait 3 to 6 months to get there. You'll have to be patient. Repetition will make you better and the sales will start rolling in. Selling digital products online isn't out of reach, but it won't happen if you don't get started now. If you want to see how I recreated and launched a digital product in 1 hour, click this video and I'll see you there.